Alright guys, I am back. Today I'm going to be going over just the basics of the basics on how to work ZModeler. Um, I'm doing this before Wyatt does all his ELS stuff just because I don't want Wyatt to have to teach all this basic stuff and ELS stuff in the same video because that would be annoying and a very long video. So I'm going to go over all the tools and stuff that you frequently use. There's some other ones I haven't even touched and don't know what they do. So I'm not going to go over those, but just the basic stuff, how to attach things, how to detach things, mirror things, scale things, rotate, move, that whole shabob blob, and the tabs over here, and just the basics on how to make a car. So ZMod, you can have it divided into 4 panels. Each of these is a different view. We'll kind of show that a little bit more once I actually get something in here. But if yours doesn't have 4, you go to view and they are called layout. You go to the split top level and then you can do this. So there's 4 panel cross, which is what it is now. 2 stacked panels, one on top of the other. And you can mess with that, but I don't know why you'd want 2 or 3 when you could have 4. I guess that's just personal preference. You do you. But that's that. We're gonna go ahead and get a model into here. You probably by now have a free model, or if you're knowing you're gonna get into depping, have one of Kane's or Georgie's or any other person that makes these really good models. For me, I'm going to use the new 2013 FPIU by Georgie. So in order to do that, you go File, Open, go to wherever you saved it. For me, I have mine organized by exterior equipment, interior equipment, lighting, and models. I go to Models, find my 2013, and then it should be a Z3D. You open that, and it will populate. Oh, where'd it go? You see the little loading bar, and then depending on what one of these you're on, you should just see that. Now this is fine, because all you have to do is hit this wonderful L0 button, and everything shows up. Okay? So these are your different views. This is looking at it from the front. This is the only, I don't know how to explain this, like, you have the 3D one, which you can rotate and move around, zoom in, zoom out, all that stuff, but you can't actually like attach things, detach things, and manipulate the vehicle on this view. Any view that has these little black lines and like highlight stuff is one you can manipulate. So like front, you're looking at it from the front. Left, you're looking at it from the left, and top, you're looking at it from the top. Okay, just little basic controls here. Scroll wheel zooms in and out. When you click, left click, you notice it doesn't do anything. Right clicking doesn't do anything. But if you push your middle click in, is how you pan things around. Okay? So when you push and move your mouse sideways, it moves it sideways. Up and down, up and down. But that's the only way you can manipulate the view in the edit modes or edit views, is pushing in the middle mouse, like scroll wheel thing. Zoom in is your scroll wheel, pushing in scroll wheel, and moving your mouse moves this. With this view, it's a little bit different. You can left click to rotate, okay, and that goes up and down. You can kind of mess with it. But then to slow it down, you can hit Control and click, and that kind of just slows down, makes your movements a little bit smaller for more precise things. And then to go kind of like this and not rotating but like panning is the same thing. You push in the scroll wheel, and that will make it so you just move things side to side, up and down, and not rotate and like pivot around it. That's kind of a little bit of the movements. Now we're gonna go over importing and merging equipment onto your cars. So let's say I want to add a light bar. You go File, Merge. You never want to merge a car base, because then the collisions and the hierarchy gets all fudged up. Always open your car base and merge parts. You never want to open parts and merge car bases. So if I want a light bar, I go to merge, I go to my light. Obviously you're just going to be organized a little bit different, but go to wherever you have your light bar. I'm going to go sound off because I'm a sound off junkie. If I can find my light bars. There they are. Let's do enforce. I like the enforce. Now this is where I got a little bit confused when I was first deving, and it was actually pretty hard for me, and I don't know why. But every light bar is going to be set up differently, which is why when I was following tutorials, I got so confused because their light bars were different, and I didn't know what to do with them. Okay, so we have our light bar in. For mine, it's just placed right there, but we can change that. We're going to need the SUV one because an Explorer is an SUV. But if you notice, I don't know if yours comes with it, but you'll have the basic parts. You'll have the light bar itself, and I know some are going to be separated. You're going to have like the light bar feet, the light bar glass, light bar like modules. However it's organized, you just have the like base light bar, and then you'll have an emissive. The emissive being the actual like lights, the red and blues, yellows, that kind of stuff. And then this one has the glass separate. Okay, what you're gonna want to do, I usually just attach all the stuff that's on the light bar first to just get it out of the way. And to do that, you want to use the attach tool, this little one with like 3 blue squares and a red square that says attach. Okay, this will attach the thing you click to the next thing you click. So for this thing, I would hit the glass, click it. You should see this little arrow that is being dragged from where you clicked, and then you click what you want to be attached, and that will merge it as one. Okay, see how there is like it's just together. You gotta be careful though, because if you were to have the glass in the hierarchy over here and try to attach the glass to it, it pops up with this error saying you cannot attach a parent to a child, because that's trying to attach this main thing to a little side thing. You want to make sure what you attach is all its different little order. Alright, so I'm probably going to remove these two just so they're not inside of each other. Now that they're separate, I'm going to attach it, click, click, brings it into one. But if you notice, it didn't really go away. The enforced glass is still there even though it's not. You can just delete it. This is only when it's the bold text. Okay, if you notice, I'm gonna go undo a little bit just to show you the difference in this. How many steps have you got? Okay. You don't really have to pay attention to this part, but say they are not bolded like they are right now. See how these are bolded? These are not. Bolded means they are compounded with the LODs. Okay? Which means when you attach them, the other 3 LODs are still technically there, which is why it doesn't go away. But if you have the unbolded, un-LOD'd, you click and pay attention to the 2 highlighted Enforce SUV and SUV Enforce Glass. When I attach these together, the last one I click stays there, but it merges that option into here. So now this is just one part instead of 2 parts. See the difference? One, or there's 2 there, I attach it, now there's 1, and they're just together. Makes it kind of easy. We don't need that. And then we're just gonna use the red. I'm gonna uncompound it so it's easier to work with, and then delete the uncompounded version so I just have the lights and I just have the push bar, or not the push bar, the light bar. And like I said, if your light bar comes with these stands on its own thing, attach it to the main push bar. Just attach all those light bar pieces to the light bar and attach all of your emissive, these are the emissives, together or not together, it doesn't matter. I'm teaching you how to attach and detach things. Okay. Next thing we're going to go over before we go over the detaching and attaching a little bit more is your material browser. If you were to just throw this in game right now, you wouldn't even see the lights because of the material browser. If you notice, you cannot see the red in the light bar. That is because the N-Force light bar is above the emissive. So this is blocking out this. It's essentially the order in which you see the materials. So in order to fix that, you always want to make sure when making any car that your emissives are above the light bar or visor light, rear deck light, pillar lights, anything. You want your emissives to be at the top almost all the time. See how when I moved it above it, you can see the red through the glass now? Okay, now that's perfect for Zmod, but if you were to throw this into OpenIV, you wouldn't see these. Because you have to go into this little Pokemon ball thing every time you add a lighting part, whether that be push bar lights, any light. Everything you merge goes down to the bottom. Okay? You want to make sure you get your emissive. They'll always have vehicle light emissive. Left click that. So you can drag it all the way to the top behind default material. That way, this glass or this emissive is above all of this stuff. So none of this stuff will block it. None of the N-Force glass will block it. So this will be seen. So now in game, you'll be able to see the little lights. And if you don't in game, double check that you have your emissive above your part. And make sure you have the material in your material browser at the very top. Now that we have this open, let's just go over this real quick. This is your material browser. This is where all the materials in game or in your Zmod are. So like all of the car stuff. So if you notice, when I unclick that, the headlights change because that's that material. This little chrome part on the headlight is mapped to this material. Okay. Vehicle generic spec map is always going to be the paint of the car. So the livery portion, if you uncheck that, it goes away. Okay. This is also how you can make it so your cars in Zmodeler have a livery. I don't have a livery for the 13, but you double click it, brings up a whole bunch of properties that look super scary. But you just want to scroll down to the detail 2. It will usually have the FPIU sign 1. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know that that is a template or the livery. Double click that, replace it, and pick, I'll throw something on there. It's not going to look right, but replace it. And then you should see in game, oh my, hold up. That doesn't even look that bad. Other than the paramedics a bit screwy. But that's how you load that up. You can also, if yours is like blue, I know some models come with that blue tinge. You double click the generic, and then up here, usually it's like this color. It kind of turns everything that ugly bluish color. All you gotta do, click it, go to white, change it back, and it will fix that. So, that's about it. It's just, this is like the material hub. This is where all this stuff goes. Occasionally, when you delete things and add things, you'll have the unused material. For this, I don't know why this is unused, but you can just click that unused material. It will highlight all the ones that are unused and delete. Kind of saves a little tiny bit of file size and just cleans this up a little bit. But the main thing you do in here is doing the reflective liveries in the last tutorial I made, and always making sure your emissives are at the top because you will not see them through the glass if they are below the glass. You always want to make sure it's on top. I can't stress that enough. I still forget it to this day, that you have to move that material, make sure it's the light emissive, and it will have the little texture to the very top. Okay, so now that we have the light bar, we can see the lights in game and out of game. We are going to teach you guys how to detach things and like position, move around, and manipulate a part. We're gonna start with the detaching. I don't know how your guys' light bars are set up, but it's the same concept either way. If you're just set up already separated into extra 1, extra 2, extra 3, extra 4, or siren 1, siren 2, siren 3, siren 4, I don't even know, or just mesh red, blue, white, I don't know. Either way, find your emissives. If you don't like how they're set up, you can detach them. For this, I like to go in top view because I can see all my modules. This is going to be the passenger side front, driver side front, driver side rear, passenger side rear. Okay. You want to go into polygon mode. Okay. Object mode is for your basic stuff like moving around, seeing how things are, and like moving parts. Polygon is how you separate parts. So when you're in polygon mode and you click, make sure you click on your emissive, and it'll turn into the little polygon mode where it shows all the little polys. Okay. Now we're gonna go over to detach, and then we're gonna go over to select quarter or quader, however you say that, and we're gonna start separating. For me, all my emissives are in one big ol' thing. All these are in this just one category. So I want it to flash a simple red or blue, red, split in half, and then this blue, red, split in half. So in total, I'm gonna have 4 little extras for ELS or sirens for non-ELS. And in order to do that, I need to highlight from this one over. Okay. And then I'm just gonna do about halfsies on this little side one. And you're like highlighting what you want to detach. Once you do that, you left click, everything should go great, and you'll see I have a new part. I still have this main one because I haven't detached anything from that. But now I have the part I have detached separate. So then I can hide this, do the same process, polygon, click, and then do the other side. Okay, and once I have done that, left click to detach, it goes gray, and you should see I have this one. Same process, detach, polygon mode, highlight, left click, pops up there, and then I don't need to detach anything on this because this is already my half. Now if you notice, okay, let's unhighlight that. Uh-oh, now I can't see my red, and the only one I see is this back one. If you know why you're listening to me, because this is the only one that is above the light bar. So now I gotta move these to the top, and I see them all again. Always make sure to put your emissives above the light bar. Okay, now I got them detached. So now, when they flash, it will be that and that. Back and forth. Boop, 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 kind of thing. But I don't want all red, okay? I want blue in there because it's a police car. And we're gonna go into the UV mapping part of it now. Okay. In order to do this, it's actually kind of easy, kind of cool. Go into polygon mode, or I guess you don't really have to because they're already separate. Highlight the parts you want to make blue, which in this case is the driver's side. Once you have that highlighted, right click anywhere. Pops up with this little menu. Go to mapping, edit UV. Now this looks super scary, but it's Not really something you even have to pay attention to, just hit OK. Once you go that, there is a view. When you click into this top left most box, is how you change your views. You need to go into the UV mapper after you've clicked this mapping edit UV and hit OK. Then go to this UV mapper, go down to material, and then you should see the Enforce Lighting Emissive or Welland or whatever your emissive texture is called. It will be right here. And then you'll notice your light bar parts showed up on the actual texture itself, and this is how you edit the color. So since there's two different parts here and they are connected, you are going to want to do polygon mode, and you can detach things in here. So go to quarter, highlight, left click, just like you're detaching something up here, and then highlight this part, go up to your move tool, turn your y-axis off so you can just move left and right, or X, however your texture is set up, and move it to the blue. And if you notice, when I move it, it is live. So like I can move it anywhere and you can see that module changing colors. Okay. So I'm going to move this to the blue. And then I need to move these to the blue. Make sure you unhighlight them. And now I have a blue and red push or light bar. I don't know why I keep saying push bar. And if I'm going too quick or you have questions, throw those questions in the general help in our Discord. We will help you as soon as we can. I am probably going a little fast, but that's why there's a pause button. Take your time. If you want to learn something and then fiddle with it, kind of get fluent with it, and then continue watching the video, that's up to you. That's how you learn. Go for it. This is just showing you how things are done, and then you can practice them on your own. Okay, so I have a blue and red push bar. Freaking light bar. Good crikey. Light bar. This is a light bar, not a push bar. Okay, so I have my light bar. I have my car. Now I need to make them into one. This is just about positioning stuff. It's kind of easy, but you just go into move. I usually do one at a time just because if I do both, then it's kind of difficult. But I move it to where I want on the car, height-wise. Okay, that looks about right. And then I move it on length-wise. So that's about right. And then I will teach how to like mess with all that to make actually lighting and stuff. But that's how you just move things around. And then if you wanted for ELS, I know most of the time you just attach everything together. Non-ELS, you have the toggleable stuff, so you don't really want to attach this to the body. But if you're making an ELS one, you go to your attach tool, click on the light bar, click on the body shell or whatever you want this to attach to, and then that will connect the light bar to the car itself. But if you notice, all my lights disappeared. Oh no, why is that? Well, it's because you attached the body shell or the light bar to the body shell, which is in this hierarchy, meaning your lights are now below the body shell. Move them to the top. Whenever I make a car, all my lights and emissives are always right under chassis. That way they are above all this car stuff, and I don't have to worry about it. But now, your light bar is a part of the body shell and out of the way and saving file size, because the less stuff you have in the hierarchy, the better. Okay. If you guys are good on that, go ahead, rewatch the video if you want to get another look at how to change light colors, how to attach things, detach things. That's about a majority of the stuff you need for non-ELS. Rotating's pretty self-explanatory. You have a light. Highlight the said light. Looking at top view, you can rotate it. Wow. This is kind of helpful when you're trying to make rotated lights, like on a push bar, or because a light is, sometimes when you like import a siren speaker, it's backwards, so then you want to rotate it so it's forwards. You can also click and rotate it a degree, so 180 would be just backwards, so then it switches and rotates it 180 degrees. But that's kind of pretty self-explanatory. Alrighty. Now, I'm pretty sure why it's going to go over the exporting thing, because that's how you actually make a car. Alright, I think that should be most of the basic stuff you need. Mirroring, you don't really have to use. It's kind of a pain, not gonna lie. Scaling makes things bigger. So like, if you highlight and then you scale, it makes the lights super weird and ginormous. You just scale them up and down. But yeah, that should be about it. If you have any questions, let us know either in the comments here or join our Discord. We're happy to help you guys learn this stuff. And Wyatt will be with you to make that ELS tutorial and go over just making an ELS car. So I'm guessing he's going to go over attaching push bars, and that will also give you a little bit more practice with the attaching and detaching tool, as well as moving things around and making things look pretty. So hope this helps kind of ease you into things. Yeah, that's about it. I'll go over all these stuff when I make the non-ELS tutorial, because that's when this kind of comes in. Or Wyatt might go over with ELS. He might do things a different way. But hope this helped. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Join our Discord if you need any more help. We're happy to help. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Laters.